Good morning and welcome to another edition of Our Town here on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. My name is Darren Swinson. Our Town, as always, brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust. A little bit later on the show, we will be talking to Troy Anderson with the Iowa DNR. They are holding a meeting tonight up at Luther College regarding the recently completed hunting season, and it's your opportunity to put in a little bit of public input on what you want to see next when it comes to hunting and trapping in the state of Iowa. Troy will give us all the details on that. Of course, the celebration event coming up to say thank you to the folks that were involved in that fire in Spring Grove is coming up this weekend. That fire occurred on December 22nd. Stephanie Gulbranson will talk to us about that event, but we'll kick off the program this morning with an ALS fundraiser that's going to be taking place at the Empty Nest Winery in Walk-On this weekend. Of course, Dave Kruger dealing with ALS right now, but eventually the fight continues, and we are going to find a cure for that. And part of that efforts will take place this weekend at the Empty Nest Winery in Walk-On. Jamie Halse will be our first guest this morning, and she joins us right now. You are listening to Our Town on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. It's brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust. Having a conversation this morning with Jamie Halse. She's going to be talking about the event coming up at the Empty Nest Winery this Saturday. It's a fundraiser regarding ALS. And Jamie, for those that might not be familiar with the situation regarding you guys' connection to this, explain that to the folks.
Sure. So like you said, my name is Jamie Halse. I am the daughter-in-law to Dave and Pam Kruger. We are holding a benefit this weekend for Dave was diagnosed with ALS, which is a neurodegenerative disease that actually kills the nerves and the muscles, brain, and the spinal cord. There is no cure for it, but Dave is actively partaking in a research trial program through Iowa City. What that entails is weekly visits down to Iowa City where Dave receives an infusion. So along with that comes a lot of increased medical expenses, travel expenses, and that type of stuff. So we kind of made the decision to hold this benefit. And so, yeah, it's this weekend at Empty Nest Winery from 1 to 5 p.m. So it's really amazing the support that we have already seen from community. We're definitely feeling the love. It's remarkable on what a small community can do. So we're really looking forward to it and hope it turns out well.
And when you have an event like this, obviously the family connection is the important part of this, but how much of this is just creating some awareness of what ALS does?
Yeah. A lot of people some people don't even know what ALS is. So, a lot of it is awareness. There's a very small percentage of people that get diagnosed with ALS. It's also commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease. I would imagine more people know it as that versus the ALS part of it. So, we're just kind of hoping that with Dave participating in the trial, that's where they're testing different products, trying to find a safe way to eventually work towards slowing the progression of ALS and cure someday. So, Yep.
And tell us about the event itself. What will the event all entail coming up on Saturday?
Sure. We're going to have a silent auction. So that'll go from 1 to 3:30. We got a lot of good donations, a lot of great silent auction items coming in, there'll be a lot to choose from and a lot to bid on. We also have live music. We'll do the live music from 1:30 to 3:30 with Dan Winston. He's actually played at the winery before, so a great guy, has good music. And then our live auction will start at 4 o'clock. We also are going to have a free will donation meal. As long as the food lasts, we'll keep serving that. So, yeah, we're hoping, and it's at Empty Nest Winery starting at 1 o'clock.
And if there are folks that perhaps want to contribute to the cause, but have other things on their schedule coming up on Saturday, is there a way for them to help out?
Yes, absolutely. We know life is busy. Everyone's busy. So if anybody wants to make monetary donations, they can contact Walk On State Bank, and they will take care of that for them. We do have a Venmo account set up, and that is it's at D Kruger 23. So if people have Venmo, they can also do that. So them are the main ways that you can participate in this with not physically coming to the event.
And obviously, when you get news like this, it's a challenge for the individual, it's a challenge for the family. But how are you all managing such a hard situation and trying to stay as positive as you possibly can?
Yeah, that it's tough. It's tough. Pam's the main caregiver of Dave, and they're handling it as well as they can. Family support is around. Everybody is around to help when needed and stuff. So, like I said, all the family are coming home this weekend for the benefit. So we'll have a lot of family members here. And we predict that it'll probably be one of the biggest events that has ever been held at the winery. So, I hope, people that can come, don't be shied away with the huge crowd that we're probably going to get. We'll have a couple side-by-sides running to shuttle people to the winery too, if you have to park down the road and stuff. But so yeah, it's been difficult, but we have some shirts that are for sale also. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but I have one of ours on. Yep. So they turned out really good. They're labeled Team Dave. So his fight is our fight, and we all really we're here to support Dave and Pam through this whole thing with whatever they need.
And most importantly, we're going to get all the icky weather out by about Thursday at noon and Thursday afternoon. So the weather should be nice on that Saturday for you guys. Anything else you want to pass on regarding the event coming up on Saturday? Anything we're missing?
No, I think so. Anybody that wants to bring out a baked good, they're more than welcome to do that. You can bring it to the winery Friday night from 5 to 9. I will be here, or Saturday morning anytime after 10. So if anybody's wanting to donate a baked item, that is possible too. But I just want to say thank you. Like I said, we've received amazing community support already. And it's just really heartwarming.
All right, Jamie, thanks for taking a few minutes to chat with us about the fundraiser coming up on Saturday. Hopefully you get a big crowd and just a lot of support for you and the family dealing with this. Great. Best of luck for as good a health as possible with Dave, most importantly. And thanks for taking a few minutes to discuss the fundraiser coming up on Saturday.
Yes, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for asking.
Jamie Halse discussing a fundraiser for ALS and Dave Kruger coming up on Saturday at the Empty Wet Nest Winery in Waukon. Having a conversation this morning with Stephanie Gulbranson. She is a part of the event coming up this Saturday at the Spring Grove Fest building, Relief, Recover, and Rebuild, in connection to the events of December 22nd in Spring Grove. Stephanie, tell us about the event coming up this week. And first of all, tell us about just the community coming together after a difficult day on December 22nd. And nobody ever wants to deal with something like that. But seemingly from the outside looking in, the community is doing its best to turn that negative into a positive.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Darren. The event, I believe you had an interview with Jana Elton from our city earlier regarding this event, and it was absolutely a tragedy that happened December 22nd. We had a devastating fire downtown, and I think Jana touched on, unfortunately, at one point of that fire, they had to make the tough call that in order to save our downtown, because this fire easily could have spread to all of the businesses, they had to make the tough call to take down the building. But at the same time, the fire department, the Spring Grove Fire Department, and all of the neighboring ones that came to help us during that time they're the ones that we owe a tremendous amount of gratitude towards, because they fought this fire in the worst temperatures you could really imagine at that time. It was bitter cold. And then, as you know, when you have temperatures like that, you have equipment failures. You have so many more challenges than you would just fighting a fire in July. And they worked hard through the night. They were relentless, and we owe it to them for still having a downtown.
And related to that, there was the fire itself in the downtown area, and the fire department basically saving your downtown. But also, because of that fire, the power was out throughout the majority of the town at that point, and a lot of people had to get to heating situations as well. So it wasn't just the fire department that had to deal with a lot of things. Really, the community was put in a situation where a lot of people needed to warm up on a really cold night, and people stepped up and got the job done.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the beauties of a small town and why people gravitate to these areas. When we have, times like this and devastating events that take place, people just come out of the woodwork to help. And this event is to not only recognize and show appreciation to the Spring Grove Fire Department and the neighboring towns' fire departments, but also to all the volunteers that came forward, because we had just a tremendous response. The chamber, we had some fundraising efforts that took place immediately after the fire for the residents that had been displaced. And the volunteers just poured in. Everybody wanted to help. The night of the fire, we had people from the city opening up warming shelters, and we had people offering up their homes that strangers could come and stay with them until they had power restored to their homes in the downtown. And so things like that, it's just, like I said, it's the beauty of a small town.
And the best part about it, obviously, there was a major devastation when it came to building damage and major headaches when it came to trying to keep people warm that night, but no major injuries and no fatalities from a situation like that. And when you're dealing with that in the big picture, that's one thing that can warm the heart. Definitely. You agree?
Yes, that's kind of the blessing, is you have to look at, even though the structure is no longer there and we've lost a vital downtown business, we didn't have any fatalities. We didn't have any injuries from it or any significant. I think Jana had touched on that. Some of the firemen did have to be treated for some frostbite, but all of those residents that were in there were able to get out. And that's something to remember with our fire departments and our firemen. They are the individuals that are going in when all of us are running out. And they're the ones going in to make sure that we get out. And it's important to remember that, and how critical it is to have these volunteer firemen to help us during these times of need. And that's what our event is for. We really want to show our appreciation and our gratitude, and then make everybody aware too of how vital these fire departments and volunteers and EMTs are to our small towns.
And just go over some of the event or the event itself coming up on Saturday night. What will it all entail?
So there's a lot going on in Spring Grove that day. So we recommend everybody come early or stay late. And we have the event set up so that you can pop in and out. It goes from 5 to 8. And there will be a recognition celebration at 6 p.m., a small presentation. But we'll have hors d'oeuvres, a cash bar. We're going to have activities for the kids, so bring your whole family along. The firemen from Spring Grove and the neighboring towns will be there with their friends and family as well. And then there is a bunch going on in the town right after that, so don't feel like you have to leave at 8 p.m.
And I believe Jana's words was you don't go to bed at 8 o'clock in Spring Grove, and many area businesses will provide a lot of food, entertainment, drinks, etc. throughout the community, really kind of celebrating the town itself and the fact that the downtown area is still there.
Yes. And, the volunteering, those efforts, it all continued after the fire. It still did. With this event, the chamber kind of spearheaded it and decided, let's try and bring some positive out of this. And like Jana had said, this isn't a fundraiser for the Spring Grove Fire Department. but you can tip your bartenders there. But we just wanted it to be a fun open house, just for everybody to gather.
Anything we're missing? Anything else you want to pass on about Saturday in Spring Grove?
No, I think that covers it. Just we hope to see you all, and yeah, hopefully we see you in Spring Grove this weekend.
All right, Stephanie, we appreciate you taking some time to tell us about the event coming up on Saturday night. And again, you touched on it. One of the cool things about living in a small town is when stuff like this happens, everybody comes together, and it's great to celebrate that coming together and give a thank you to the people that never ask for one, but we don't say thank you enough. Our firefighters, our EMTs, everybody in that realm. Thanks for taking the time this morning, Stephanie, and best of luck with the event coming up this weekend.
Thank you. Have a great day, Darren.
Stephanie Gulbranson talking about the event coming up Saturday, the Fest building in Spring Grove. Relief, recover, and rebuild from 5 until 8. But stick around town all day because Spring Grove is a great place to visit, a great place to come to. Having a conversation this morning with Troy Anderson from the Iowa DNR. There's a meeting coming up tonight as we speak, as the Iowa DNR will hold a meeting up at Luther College. And Troy, explain what will go on tonight.
Yeah, so the meeting Thursday night, is a meeting we have every year about this time. We call it the public listening session. More so, we listen to the public more so than what we present. But it's a town hall style meeting where the local DNR staff provides updates on the recently completed hunting and trapping seasons, discuss possible changes to the seasons, and address other topics as requested. So it kind of starts off as, a few short recorded presentations that provide statewide summaries on wildlife population status and the harvest from last year, and then any rule changes for next year. And the second half of the meeting is designated to take public comment or suggestions. And these will be recorded and shared with our DNR folks in Des Moines.
And the information that you gather from meetings like this, what is done with that information?
Yeah, so I kind of referred to it a little bit. It's shared with our folks in Des Moines. So there's 18 of these that go on basically in this week. And it's shared with our folks in Des Moines and helps we utilize the information to set some of these seasons and get the public's input on what they're seeing out there, because sometimes their eyes and ears are out there also, as well as some of the research that we have been done. So,
and that information that gets gathered when it comes to the folks in Des Moines setting policy, are there perhaps some policies that could get set in this part of the state and they could be different than other part of the state, or does your organization kind of want to keep it uniform and standard?
Well, normally it's, so there's rules and there's regulations, and some are legislative and some are, DNR proposals. But policies are fairly standard when it comes to seasons. They can vary on location. Waterfowl season is one of them. There's a north and a south. There's actually 3 parts. Also, some trapping things come up where, like, bobcats are southern Iowa and are moving up to the Mississippi River line. So that can vary by whether there's an open season or not on bobcats by county. So there are a few adjustments. Overall policy is
one chance that folks have to give their 2 cents, or is when it comes to taking comments from the public, is that kind of an ongoing process?
It is ongoing. This is the one time that's fresh in folks' mind that we do every year. Concerning the seasons that we just basically completed. And if they can't attend the meeting, you can email your comment or suggestion to wildlife@dnr.iowa.gov, and those will be recorded just the same as if during the meeting we have one of our folks record all the comments, and we share that with the folks in Des Moines. So, but also if it's a legislative rule or a regulation that has been proposed, we always encourage folks to reach out to their local legislators and talk to them about that also. So,
is there an example of policy that has been set that is in place right now that perhaps has come from one of these meetings in years past?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they all have a little bit of influence. Sometimes it doesn't change. Obviously, it's the majority usually that helps set it. Right now there's a little push to extend the trapping season. So that's something that folks can comment on, and we kind of go from there. But yeah, we always want to hear from the public, and your comment might not change a rule, but it might help, that sort of thing. So.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Our Town here on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. My name is Darren Swinson. Our Town, as always, brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust. A little bit later on the show, we will be talking to Troy Anderson with the Iowa DNR. They are holding a meeting tonight up at Luther College regarding the recently completed hunting season, and it's your opportunity to put in a little bit of public input on what you want to see next when it comes to hunting and trapping in the state of Iowa. Troy will give us all the details on that. Of course, the celebration event coming up to say thank you to the folks that were involved in that fire in Spring Grove is coming up this weekend. That fire occurred on December 22nd. Stephanie Gulbranson will talk to us about that event, but we'll kick off the program this morning with an ALS fundraiser that's going to be taking place at the Empty Nest Winery in Waukon this weekend. Of course, Dave Kruger dealing with ALS right now, but eventually the fight continues, and we are going to find a cure for that. And part of that efforts will take place this weekend at the Empty Nest Winery in Waukon. Jamie Halse will be our first guest this morning, and she joins us right now. You are listening to Our Town on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. It's brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust.